Hey everyone, how's it going? Shuffle's back here with another video, and we're back with another RTA fight of the night. There's going to be a couple fights tonight, but I thought this was really funny. We had a lot of fun playing with a brand new unit, um, just brand new to the game. I'm sure you noticed in the thumbnail who it is, and I'm sure nobody knows what he actually does. I'm going to try and explain along the way. And before we get into it, just so you know, get a feel for, I guess, how quote unquote clickbaity the title is. It's really not. He's actually quite good. Um, it is Ian, of course, the new 3-star Light Ranger. Do I recommend you build him? We'll get into that at the end. But let's jump over to the leaderboard right now because I want to show you guys something before we get into the video clips. So here's the leaderboard. If you take a look, we are the very top here, ranked 47. This Asia server player, as at 2866, we're at 2819, and we are ranked 98. So he's 47 at 66. See if we can get down to 16. There we go. So we have Jinx Jinx AZ at 50 points lower and 60 ranks lower. So it's less than a point per rank up at this level right now. And this continues all the way down to like rank 200 and all the way up to, I think, like rank 10. Everybody's super, super close together right now. So one or two losses can either jump you up into the top 50 or can drop you well out of Legend. It's going to be a crazy last few weeks. We still don't know when the season is ending. But the clip is actually, we start these clips outside of Legend, and then we use Ian to work our way back into Legend. They do say cleaving is dead, but maybe with him and maybe with some other characters. I know we have Lulu coming out tomorrow. Maybe we can try and bring it back. We will be doing cleaves lots on stream at twitch.tv/5fingershuffle. So if you want to join and watch that, you're more than welcome to join. But in the meantime, let's just jump right into the highlights from tonight's stream. All right, so here we are. You can see we're currently ranked 19 champions. So we're ranked 119 overall. We're at 2794 coming into this fight. Can I change the settings on this? I don't think so. Maybe? I don't know if that made it clear or not, but we'll see. All right, so you can see we match up against Dubix. He's currently ranked 400. So we are a bit ahead of him in rank, but you have to be really careful. Even like everybody's so tightly packed right now that you never know who's where and who hasn't climbed yet. And I know I faced him before. He's a good player. We rank pre-ban the Crow, and he pre-bans FCC. So it leads me to think that maybe he wants to cleave. I was going to lead with Valencia, but because I'm worried that he might want to cleave, I decide to cleave first. I go with Elitica, and I believe Cdom I follow up with here. All right, he gets to go first. So he picks Arby. Pretty standard counter. Somebody that if I'm cleaving, I'm gonna have to make sure I have a way to deal with. We are going to do three fights here. So here, after the Arby, he wants to discourage me from cleaving, and he might also want to cleave. And so he went and took Oxlots. Now, normally Oxlots is the unit that I pair with Cdom and Flitica when I cleave, and I think he knows this. I think he might even watch stream. So I decide to. I have to make up my mind. Normally, my secondary unit would be Cerise here, and I use her in a similar way as I'm going to use Ian. Um, but I decide to go ahead and continue with my cleave with the idea of taking Ian. He goes Rose, which is a bit of a weird pick here. It's kind of a red flag. Either he has no idea what I'm trying to do, or he's crazy fast, and I have to be super worried about it. Um, so I do hesitate here on my last couple of picks. But because of that, and because he has no speed imprint yet, and I need another way to deal with Arby because I don't plan on banning him, I decided to go with the Fire Siren. If you haven't seen my Fire Siren video, it is one of my most recent ones. You should check that out. She does get good use here as well, but she gets highlighted in that video. But it's a very weird team we have here. We have Litika, Sidom, Sigrid, Cern, and a 4-star Ian. Not a team that you would think you would see at this level of RTA, especially semi-late in the season. Especially he counters with the Cern. I don't really have a way to deal with Cern other than the Sigrid. Um, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to outspeed him here. I am worried that he's going to ban our Sigrid here. And if he does, we really have no way to kill Surin outside of just resetting her stripping and resetting her skills, which can be scary because with no damage reduction, you never know how much damage that strip's going to do, and maybe it puts her into stealth. Instead, he pre-bans our Flitica, leaving us with just Ian, Surin, Sigrid, and Sedum. Not the most intimidating of teams, but he doesn't have a lot of damage either. He only has the Arby, and we do have 2 units that can kill Arby if we can get them into a turn. So Ian goes first. We're going to use his skill 2. His skill 2 attack buffs everybody, and then automatically gives him an extra turn. So he puts up his attack buff. He takes his now skill 3. We have him on a crit rate neck. He strips with his skill 3 and applies blind. The quad crit boosts our Sedum. Sedum boosts the attack bar of everybody else. He is on Sachet, so as long as we kill somebody, we should be fine. We are currently behind the Broman. Because we have attack buff, we get 37k there from our Sedum. Pretty easy kill. And now Surin has attack buff as well. So she can go ahead into this Oxlots. I'm a little worried about how tanky he could be here. I do know we are on Sachet, so we are going to cut the Rose. If we kill, we do get the kill with 12k into him. We don't have any souls left, so we're going to go ahead and skill 3 into the Arby. And the Aureus damage does 4,600 to the Rose, and that is going to be a victory. So that bumps us up 6 points to 2,800. I do go ahead here and go and show my gear. So let's jump ahead to the very next fight. All right, we're back and we're queued up again. You can still see we're still at 2,800. We are up to rank 11 now. I did a few things in there. I just didn't want to show it on video. I do show his gear. I'll talk more about his gear later. But I also moved some stuff around on some other units, and I want to keep this video as short as possible. So we will skip over that for now. Chat was chat was really loving that win. We got a good laugh over it because I've been trying to get a win with him, like a good solid clean win for a while, but weird people keep getting banned and things kept happening. So we do get that one done. We finally queue into a fight. This one we go ahead pre-ban the crowd. We have to wait for his ban as well, obviously. I didn't even see what rank this guy was. I forget who it is. All right, it's Nemesis, or Nemesis. He's also in champion. So he bans the Flurry, and since our cleave just worked, we decided to go back with the Litika again. And again, he tries to steal our Oxlots, which this is all very strange because normally people pre-ban my Litika, and I don't get to cleave very often. So it was just like perfect timing that we got to cleave so many times in a row. I do go with the CDOM next. I am a little worried about the MRSA because of evasion. Also with Ian, it kind of stresses me out a little bit because you never know if he's going to crit that MRSA. Um, but because I guess because we just won the last one, I wanted to try it again. So we do go ahead with the Sigrid again. I feel like normally I would stop there and go to counter cleave. I would probably go double Cecilia or something, but we were having a good time and figured we would try it out. He kind of jumped ship here too, so he goes with the Cecilia this time, which makes me feel a little bit better about our attempt here. Knowing that Ian is water, we do have to hope that he doesn't have a lot of nature in his team. Otherwise, we might have to do something else or pick somebody else. And then he goes with the Selene, and Selene is very bad for what we're trying to do here. Um, but we're kind of stuck now. We're already in Cleave territory. We could ban the Selene. We could also ban the MRSA and just hope we don't have any issues with the Selene. I decided to go with Izaria, excuse me, in the hopes that we can deal with that pretty easily. And then I really thought this was the Neon fight. Well, let's keep this one rolling. If it's not what I thought it was, then I will just edit this part of the video out and you'll never see it. Um, but if you're seeing it, then I left it in for a reason. So let's see what happens. I really thought I went with Ian back to back here. Purpose being here, just so you know, he's quite slow outside of the Oxlots and potentially the MRSA. I'm a little worried about that Cecilia being fast. Um, but I'm pretty convinced that my Izaria can outspeed him, so that's why I didn't go with another speed unit on the end. That's why I didn't go with Ian on the end there. So now we have the double strip with CDOM and Sigrid. He didn't even bother banning because he knew he was going to get outsped there. He didn't even bother banning my Litica. So funny enough, the Cecilia would have cut us if he would have banned the Izaria. He would have cut us. Um, kind of torn here. I was gonna skill 3 first, but because she was gonna cut, we don't have a choice. We have to boost here. We do miss the crit on the MRSA as well, which is also really bad. Um, she boosts up, and she's not on tome. She wouldn't have cut us anyway if she was, but good to know that she's not on tome. We don't have to worry about the speed tuning of the units coming in behind. So of course CDOM goes second, but now if I buff up, I'm screwed, right? So I burn into this. We don't crit, which kind of sucks, but we do have her following up, and we do need to hope that she is able to crit on the Selene and kill her. I mean, she will crit, but we have to hope that she kills her. The Izaria is able to get the kill, gets the crit on the MRSA, knocking her down quite a bit. Then we have our skill 3 from the Litica. We reset the provoke and the immunity on the Cecilia. That way, if we do get cut, she can't do anything about it. But we don't get cut anyway. We get our Sigrid turn. She is on Oath Key. We go straight into the MRSA, get the MRSA kill on skill 1. The skill 1 splashes into Elena. Then we can boost finally with the CDOM because we've crit so many times in the meantime. CDOM cuts again, then she boosts, and she can skill 1. And at this point, she's provoked and buff blocked, so even though she's not dead, all she can do is skill 1. And at this point, they have no way to do anything, so I'm pretty sure he just gives up here. Pretty interesting fight, though. Didn't include Ian, but I thought it was an interesting fight anyway, just the way it played out. So maybe we'll leave that in there, and we'll just keep right on going. That way you guys can see kind of the progression of things here. So we didn't get very many points on that one. We move up to rank 8. We're up to 2805 now. And then we just go right back into the next one. I think this is the Ian fight here. So we match with Jungso, or Jungsu. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I do know he has a very strong Collie and a very strong Ruel. Normally I ban his Ruel. Don't ask me why, but I decided not to. And funny enough, he banned the wrong person. So he had been watching what we'd been doing, and he goes ahead and knew he had to ban one of them, but he banned the wrong one. I think I had cleaved him with this earlier. So we go ahead and bring the Litica. Again, I don't even remember that guy's name, the green guy. Uh, honestly can't remember, but he's the one with the extinction. He's not the one with the buffs here. I go ahead and take Cdom, knowing that he thinks that he's already banned the right person, right? He thinks he banned the right unit. He goes ahead and steals the Oxlots now, thinking he's stealing my Oxlots, and he banned the right unit. So we kind of bait him into that, and we are still planning to take him with our last pick. I do have to worry about speed tuning here. Because he does have two really fast units. I do know his Collie is not only fast, but hits really hard as well. Um, so we go into the Surin. That way we get the speed imprint. And then I go the Rylet. Rylet being somebody who I don't have to worry, if he bans the Cdom, I don't have to worry about him getting boosted. I only really need one boost, and he will for sure get a turn. So Jungso counters with the Spectre, who's, funny enough, the unit that I would normally have taken in the Rylet spot. And then I think he wraps up with that Ruel, but I can't remember. We already have our Ian ready. Yeah, he goes with the Ruel. So the two units that I already knew were really strong, he gets them both in the draft. We are hoping we can outspeed him with the Surin and the Ian. So we go ahead and ban the Cecilia. He bans our Litica, again leaving us with Ian, Cdom, Surin, and Rylet. Another very strange team. We do give the speed imprint to the Cdom and to the Ian. That way we make sure we go first. He gets first turn, gives attack buff to everybody. We only have one book here, so we do have to be a little bit careful. He does his skill 3. We only get the one blind, and it is on the Spectre, but that is an important one. It does allow the 4 crits, obviously, that our Cdom to cut. She also boosts, which is going to give Rylet the following turn. He's quite squishy, so we decide to go into the Ruel. We pop the Ruel for 32k with the Cdom on turn 1, and he just auto quits. So let me jump right in the next fight. I think there's one more fight. Let me find it. That is the one that pushed us into Legend, but I think we use it one more time. We do use it one more time. Hold on. I think it's this fight. Let's see if it's this one. If it's not this one, then I'll cut the video, paste them together, and we'll go from there. I think it happens this fight too. I know the last time I introduced Surin and I cleaved somebody with Surin, um, there were like Reddit posts about how someone got cleaved by a streamer on on Reddit while they were doing RTA. So I'm sure there'll be something floating around about people getting cleaved by Ian. So I wanted to make sure we got the video out first. I'm pretty sure it is this upcoming fight, but there might be the fight after. Long queue time on this one. It's funny, you never notice how it's the matchmaking in the draft that takes most of the time until you're recording a video about it. All right, so yes, this is the one. So this is the one. This is the same guy we faced the very first fight when he brought the Rose and we cleaved him with the Ian. So we'll see what happens here. I thought this was a very interesting interaction. I don't think we even take the Ian in this fight, but it made for a very interesting draft, and I thought it would be a great way to wrap up this video. So we do go ahead. Yeah, so he pre-bans the Ian after what we did to him last time, which again, I never thought I'd see the day where we would get Ian pre-banned. But we do manage to get him pre-banned, and he steals our Flitica, which was kind of fun as well. Because he's fully sold out on stopping us from cleaving him, we now can completely switch gears. We go double Cecilia. I wish you guys could see the Twitch chat at this point because everybody was getting a good laugh over the fact that Ian got pre-banned. But now all of a sudden, unfortunately for Dubix, he's committed to cleaving, or at least being somewhat squishy to go with the Litica. And we can just tank up against him, and there's really not much he can do about this at this point. He does go with the double edgelords in Arby and Rylet. We go with Valencia. Do we end up going Sage here? I can't remember. I have no idea who my last pick was here. We go Maid. I like using my Maid into counter cleave. Works really well. And then he goes Oxalot's last pick, which is exactly what we were hoping for. We're going to let him Oxalot's cleave these 4 units. We just need to find a way to get him to let us cleave these 4 units. So we go with the Sage here. We ban the Litica, and I'm pretty confident he's going to ban the Sage, but I don't think he does. If I remember correctly, he actually surprises me and leaves. Yeah, he bans the FCC, leaving the Sage in. Knowing that he's going to have to kill the Sage, I do have an imprint on my Alencia that gives HP, so I want to give him the imprint just to make sure he can't get one shot. Same thing with the Maid as well. Of course, Sage does have immunity, which is very important here. So Oxalots goes first into the BBK. He's gonna, I think he burns into the BBK, and watch how little damage this does as a cleave here. Into all of them, but it's particularly into him. They don't even get him to half health. The Aureus holder in Cecilia almost dies, but everybody else lives. Maze on Water's Origin, she heals a little bit and puts up the revive buff. Then Sage is able to skill 2, strip all those attack buffs and immunity, and sleep. We didn't get the Rylet, but we were able to strip his evasion, which was super helpful. Instead of going with the skill 3 here and waking everybody up, I decided to just kill him because he's got no evasion anymore. So our Alencia pops the Rylet. And then we got a single target here. We could have provoked everybody and put up immunity. I decided to forego the immunity in exchange for letting them sleep for another turn. We get a team up into him. Unfortunately, it doesn't sleep. That could have slept with this skill 1, but we don't get the sleep. Oxalots now is going to skill 3. This could have gone very wrong if he would have silenced our Cecilia. Thankfully, he did not. He silenced the maid, who is the only one that doesn't have a skill available. Well, I guess Sage too. But both our Alencia and our Cecilia have skills. Our Chloe comes in with the skill 1 stun. Not that it matters, because she's not going to get another turn anyway. Then we use our Sage skill 3 for really good damage here into the BBK. People say his skill 3 is terrible, but he's currently at half health when he does this, and she's at half health. We pop off for 6,100 damage and heal for 9k. And then our Alencia is able to skill 3 into the 2 remaining units, put up defense buff. Plus, we're still at full health, basically. And they both die. Arby comes back to life, has to attack into the defense buff. But at this point, we have way too much HP left, even though we don't have immunity. So he goes off, but only is able to kill the Cecilia, but we have the revive buff anyway. We come back to life, throw up our provoke, and that is going to be it for today, for this fight. So because we were able to bait him into the Ian ban, of all things, we trick him into trying to cleave us, and we were ready for it. And we're able to take him out relatively easily after that. He really didn't have a chance. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. As for gear on Ian, I currently have him. I don't want to show the gear because it is the gear from my Cerise, but he is on speed boots with an effectiveness ring and a crit rate neck. The crit rate neck allowing him to crit for the CDOM, so the CDOM doesn't get cut there. And the effectiveness just to be able to land the strip, hopefully. If he doesn't, it's not a huge deal. But anyway, I thought that was a fun video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The patch notes are coming out in a few minutes, so I gotta go. But we will see you all next time. Don't forget to like this video down below. Let me know what you thought down in the comment section. And of course, hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you all next time. Bye for now, guys.